Hey there folks, welcome back, Ricky here. Alright, so today I've got a very exciting unboxing, and it is an unboxing like no other because you will have to read what I'm going to unbox. Can you read that? Shapton took minimalist to a whole new level by making a box this big with font this small. Yeah, I know, it's pretty funny. This is the Shapton Pond. I want to thank the folks over at sharpeningsupplies.com for sending this here as a review sample. So thank you guys for being a part of my channel and supplying me with so many great sharpening supplies and things to play with. If you guys have never heard of them, definitely check them out. I will leave a link in the description to their website and to this item as well. Okay, so let's just get this thing open. I'm excited because, yeah, I'm excited. just because I have something to play with. Yeah, I'm so grateful to have all these great toys to play with. Tools. These are not toys, these are tools. Get that right, Ricky. All right, here we go. Ooh, look at that. Oh, this is hefty. Wow, okay. I don't know how many pounds it is. It's probably close to, I would say 7-8 pounds. Maybe, yeah, 7-8 pounds. I've got a scale. Ooh, I found my scale. Let me find my scale. I am so excited because I actually found my scale. This scale I have been looking for like a year, and my wife apparently put this on top of our dresser in our room, and I didn't know that it was there. So for a whole year, I was without my digital scale. And now that I have it again, I'm gonna weigh things in the studio. So let's see. Let's see how close I am to my guesstimation of weight. Okay, let's, ooh, I might be right on target. It's 7.63 pounds. I'm good. I said 7-8 pounds, right? Yeah, I said between 7 and 8 pounds, and it is 7.63 pounds. Thank you very much. Let's get this thing officially opened and checked out. This may become my daily driver for all of my sharpening videos. Ooh, very nice. Look at that. 50,000. I'm guessing that's just an internal memo or kind of a SKU for itself. There we go, Shapton. Because it says 50,000 here in the box. Yeah, so 50,000. Upside down. There you go, 50,000. This is nice. This is actually really nice, and it's really sturdy. And this entire base here is a thick rubber compound. You can hear it. Yeah, and so it actually adds a really nice. Yeah, I mean, just check this thing out. Look, it's not rocking. It's not moving anywhere. Yeah, it's not sliding, which is very important in terms of sharpening. And the actual, I guess it's like really nice high-end plexiglass. Yeah, it's definitely plexiglass, not glass, and that would be kind of silly. But very, very high-end plexiglass here, and it's opaque. So it's got this. It's actually milky, or it's not. It's just opaque. You can't see through it at all. And very sturdy. Definitely something that is very well put together. Yeah, it's double layered, so you have two 1-inch strips of molded, you know, I wouldn't call it a strip, but it's essentially a strip. But this is definitely molded. You can see all the lines from the mold. You can definitely see the lines from the, you know, when the mold actually pressed together and created this this base here. And so you have two bases are kind of clamping into one to hold the plexiglass together. I'm sure you guys are wondering, how does this actually function, and actually does it work? Well, I can tell you right now that the plexiglass is very hard and very strong. There is no give in the glass at all, and it literally can take a lot of weight. And I'm pushing pretty hard on this thing right now, and it's not moving. It's not sliding. So this is a wooden table, and I imagine that even on your counter, on your wet countertop, this will still be very, very stable. I don't think that you can actually slide this anywhere because the rubber is very grippy. Very nicely done, Shapton. So bravo. Well, you guys are probably wondering, does this actually work and will I actually use it? And why would this actually replace a tub that I've been using? So let me pull up my tub, show you guys what I've been using for the last year or so since my channel has started. And I will do a sharpening session for you to see, to show you how it actually functions and what I really think of it after an actual sharpening session. Okay, so this is what I have been using, and it's a 4-inch thick tub, and it's been a wonderful, wonderful tub for me. I love it, and so I bought this for 22 or 23 bucks on Amazon, and if you guys are curious, I will leave a link in the description. So let me show you my previous setup, and then I'll show you guys what my setup would look like if I were to use this as a replacement. I've got my sharpening bridge, my 90-watt sharpening bridge, which I love, and we have my rubber base. So that's my German Shepherd barking at a bird or a squirrel. Would it be sacrilegious if I use other sharpening stones other than Shapton in this video? Okay, so let me I just grabbed some Shapton stones here. Okay, so this is my previous setup. What I normally did was I filled water for about, I would fill this tub with about 1 inch or 2 with water, or of water, or with water. What is that? 1 inch? I filled it with 1 inch or 2 with water or of water. It doesn't matter. I used to have a tub that was 6 inches tall, which was fine when I had a desk, and I actually had a desk that was like only 27 inches high, and I actually sat on a stool and I sharpened on that desk. That worked really well, but when I actually changed my setup to a standing setup where I'm actually standing on a desk or a bench here, it's actually, this bench here is 36 inches tall, and for me 4 inches is just right. With 36 plus 6 inches of a tub, that was just too high, and so my angles were kind of off. The 4 inches is just right for me to stand and sharpen on. The Shapton pond here, you're looking at 2 inches or so of height, and so it even makes it easier for someone like me to sharpen standing up on my countertop. Now, this here, it's a flat stone, so very easy. Say I had a thicker stone, so let's say I had a this is the Chaucera 800. Now it's a little taller with the base, and so even this here is still relatively comfortable for me to sharpen on, which is fine. However, this here is not very portable, okay? It stays here in my studio. Now I have a studio dedicated to my sharpening videos here, so it's actually okay for me to fill up this, tub with water, and then it just stays here, which is fine. However, if you live in a situation where you don't have a dedicated studio or a garage, and you are keeping your sharpening supplies underneath your sink or in a closet next to the next to the kitchen, this system here, it may not be the best for you. Now, for those who don't care for a sharpening tub, a sharpening sink is actually probably the best thing for you, because you can sharpen directly on your sink. You can just extend this or retract this at any length you want. And for most people, this actually works really well, except remember that if you sharpen over your sink, your stone, the slur from the stone and the materials from the stone will actually go into your drain. So you have to make sure that your sink is not going to clog up if you were to sharpen over your sink. For this 90-watt bridge here, it's 100 bucks. And so for 100 bucks, it's actually a pretty good deal. Anything above that, you will have to decide if it's right for you or not. I would say the max I would pay for this bridge here is maybe 120, maybe 150 if you really want it. It's all stainless steel, and it's actually quite nice. So this combination right here, you're looking at, let's say 125 bucks for this bridge and 25 bucks for this tub. You're looking at 150 for this setup here, plus your base, which is another 20 bucks or so. So for 170, you have a great sharpening setup that is not very mobile. So now with this pond, what would you actually still need in addition to the pond itself? You can do a couple of different things. If you really wanted to get something cheap, you can get something like this base. I would recommend a rubber base, because then now nothing's going to slip on the actual plexiglass itself, and your stone goes directly onto the base, and your knuckles still have plenty of clearance on both sides to sharpen on, which is great. Now if you want something really cheap, you can use a brick or some sort of plank of wood. That actually works pretty well. If you were to do that, okay, so if you were to use a brick or any plank of wood, I would definitely get a rubberized, these are actually anti-slip mats that you can buy at the dollar store, or you can buy from your local hardware store, something like that. You would line this first, your anti-slip mat, then you would put your brick or your plank on it, and then you can sharpen this way. This setup here, you're looking at the base, so if you minus the base, this is a, you know, a 10 cent, 20 cent solution. This actually works really well because now you have a really nice height and great knuckle clearance on both sides of the base. So we have our base, we have our stone. So we have our 500 grit stone here. I'll just grab that. And so we have 500, 1000, and 10,000. I kind of just grabbed whatever stone that was actually in that stack right there. All right, so we're gonna tighten this just slightly here, give our stone a good little grip. Okay, so I got water on my stone here, and now this is actually a really good solution for those who don't like to use a lot of water in your sharpening. People are always criticizing me at washing off all the slur from the stone. I don't believe that actually aids your sharpening at all, but that's my opinion, and I'll do a video to prove that at some point. So this solution here is great for a person who is very minimal in terms of their water usage. You can sharpen a knife, so I'm gonna grab a knife to sharpen with here. All right, so I've got my Enzo here, and you know, so you're sharpening, so let me do a really quick sharpening demo for you, or just for me, and see actually how my hands actually clear and if there's any issues with clearance of any sort. Okay, that's good there. I'm actually moving around as much as I can to actually get my knuckles to as close to the edge as possible. And I'm not really finding myself hitting the base at all, which is good. Okay. Okay, so from that quick 30-second session, I can tell you that my knuckle on the right side of the knife is completely clear because I'm more linear or more vertical. Coming this way though, I did find my knuckles actually hitting the base on the side just a little bit. The solution is very easy. All you need to do is either find something taller, like the brick. So I just pulled this out. This is a Kramer bridge that I have. It's bamboo. And I wonder if this will actually work. Let's see here. Okay, so this is the Kramer. And where to put my stone. Okay, so we have a nice sturdy base here. Yeah, it's not moving anywhere. All right, so let's see. Let's put this together, get some water. Okay, that's good. Yeah, this actually works pretty well. I actually like how this feels. Now, I don't like how it looks because you have a pond and then you have a bridge. It kind of doesn't make sense. Now, the nice thing about the pond is if you were to splash some water onto the stone, the water doesn't go onto your tabletop or your counter. Normally, you would use this bridge probably with a towel underneath it anyway, so that shouldn't really be a problem. Just for my own sake, I want to see how it actually feels. Again, definitely use some sort of a rubberized mat to use with your brick. Okay, this will work for now. I don't have to make it perfect. But this would be the best solution, I think, for this base here because it doesn't stick over any sides of the base or of the pond, and it's perfect. So let's get some water, give it some grip. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is perfect because now my knuckles have great clearance on both sides, nothing sticking over any sides of the pond. You're at a decent height. Now, if you were shorter or you had a very tall counter, then obviously you wouldn't use a full-size thick brick like a 3-inch brick. You would use something like a 1 inch. You can probably find slabs of wood or something like that that would just work better. So here is my conclusion after using it for just 5 minutes or so, and you know, playing around with it. If I were to take price out of the equation, it is a fantastic unit. I think that it is a very well put together unit. The construction quality is very good, definitely up there in terms of its overall quality. In terms of functionality, my initial thought using this right now was I wish they would have just added maybe an inch of height at the very bottom base and then just make this a ½ inch tall as opposed to an inch tall because my knuckles were hitting it. However, if it was only a ½ inch tall, then you would not be able to put any water into this. And if you were to spray your, hose your stone down with some water, the water would fill up too quickly and would just overflow. But after using it for a few minutes, I really do appreciate the fact that it is 1 inch thick on both sides, because I can actually pour in enough water during a sharpening session and not worry about water pouring out. So in terms of its overall design, I think that it is actually very well designed. So it's very well designed, very well constructed. And so now you have to factor in price. So now this is where you really have to decide if it's actually worth the money for you. At the time of making this video, I believe the pond retails for 230 bucks over at sharpeningsupplies.com. So at 230 bucks, here's what you have to think about. This setup here that I have here is roughly 170 bucks or so. You have 100 for the bridge, or up to 150 for the bridge, 20 to 25 for the 4-inch base, and another 20 bucks for the rubber base here. So you're looking at 170 bucks total investment. Is it worth the extra, 50 bucks or so to go to this setup here with a cheap rubber base of some sort, or a piece of wood or a brick? I think yes, if you live in a very small home and space is very limited, and you have no space to actually leave a tub filled with water and just sitting there. This tub, again, it's large. It's I don't know how large it is. I think it's like 24 inches. Yeah, I think it's about 22 inches long and 12 inches wide. So this is a great setup if you have a lot of perma soaking stones, or stones that you want to leave in water, or a station that you don't really care about. If you have an actual garage or a studio that is your own, and you don't mind getting water on the ground when you're moving this thing around, then yeah, that is a great setup. If you live in a small apartment, then I would recommend you definitely going with a bridge over a sink if you have good running water and your pipes won't clog. If that is not an option, then yes, the pond is definitely a good solution for you. It's portable, it's relatively light, but heavy enough to actually be very planted and very sturdy as you're using it. I don't know if you guys noticed in some of my previous sharpening videos, but you'll see in many of my videos, this unit actually slides around as I'm sharpening, and it kind of is loud sometimes when the bridge is not on right, and it kind of clicks or it kind of hits the sides of the bin. And so I've done my best to shield you guys from those clips or those instances. But this unit here kind of takes away all that issue. There's nothing's gonna slide, and the only issue now that I have is if I have a guest in my studio, who's gonna use the pond and who's gonna use the bin. Because when I had Harry Sue, Barbecue Pitmaster here, I had the 6-inch bin and he had the 4-inch bin, and I was really awkwardly trying to sharpen on the 6-inch bin. I finally just chucked it out and just used my plank of wood and used a brick instead. So in that situation, if I had anyone over here again, sure, the 4-inch bin would be nice, but I'll be watching my guest sharpen on the pond and I'll be feeling kind of jealous. So maybe if I can get Sharpening Supplies to send me another one, that would be amazing. Hint hint, Sharpening Supplies, can I get another one? So back to the question of, is it a good value? Well, from a dollar standpoint, it sounds like it is a lot of money. But once you factor in my setup here, that it cost me 170 bucks as it sits, and adding only $50 more to have a more portable, more sturdy, and better constructed unit, then yes, it actually is a pretty good value, in my opinion. Does it make sense for everybody? No, certainly not. This is, for a lot of folks who are struggling to buy a $100 knife or $150 knife, it doesn't make sense for you to go buy a $200+ sharpening base. It just doesn't make any sense. If you're like me and you're sharpening a lot of knives and you use a lot of whetstones, then yes, this actually does make a lot of sense. But if you're only sharpening your knives once a month, or even less than that, and you have a lot of space in the garage for a bin setup, then go for the bin setup. Like always, guys, I want to hear your thoughts. Do you think this is a well-designed product? Yes or no? And why not? All right. Well, thank you guys for being here, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. I have just found the perfect solution to sharpening on the pond is a Chaucera stone with its original base, because it's high enough to give my knuckles clearance on both sides of the knife, but it's low enough to keep the low slim profile so I'm not kind of reaching over and sharpening. This is it. This is the perfect sharpening stone combination and base combination or pond combination. Not the Shapton glass, because of Shapton glass, it's way down here. I've got to put an ugly base on it, and still doesn't give me the knuckle clearance. The Chaucera with the base, not the professional, okay, the Chaucera, and the Shapton pond. Behold, sharpening perfection right here. Oh, I've officially lost it.